just because a problem exists doesn't mean that God's not there. The absence of problems or the presence of problems doesn't mean the absence of God. The presence of clouds doesn't mean the absence of the sun. The sun is behind the clouds. You just can't see the sun. And what you need to understand is there's a story in the Bible about 3 Hebrew children who get thrown into a fiery furnace as punishment because they refused to stop praying. They did the right thing and they experienced a problem. And when they're thrown into the fiery furnace, one would think, well, God is nowhere to be found because here they are, they're going to die. They got thrown into this furnace to be burned alive. And as the king who threw them into the furnace looked into the furnace, here's what the Bible says. The king leaped to his feet in amazement. He asked his advisors, weren't there 3 men that were tied up and threw into the fire? They replied, certainly, your majesty. And he said, look, I see 4 men walking around the fire, unbound and unharmed, and the 4th looks like a son of the gods. God is not absent in problems. He just looks different. God is the 4th man in the fire when a problem arises. God is the guiding hand of the surgeon during the surgical procedure. God is the providing hand that is taking you through the time of unemployment. God is the comforting voice of a close friend when you're going through a problem. God is the encouraging word of a pastor that speaks exactly what you need to hear at the moment that you're going through. God is not absent during problems. God just looks different, but He's there the entire way. He is present, and you've got to have the right eyes, the eyes of faith to look and to see God moving. The reason why that surgery that should have killed you brought you through is because God had His hand on the physician. The reason why the unemployment didn't run out is because God had His hand on your life. And the reason why you still had food on the table, even though it wasn't the kind of food that you wanted to eat, and maybe it was spam out of the jar, is because God put the spam on the table. You need to have the right eyes to look for God in the middle of your problem. God's not absent. He's there